What's good, YouTube? It's your boy Bird, man. We back on Bird's Eye View. Again, like always, man, I appreciate y'all, man. The channel is growing, fairly quick. So, again, I appreciate all the support, man. Continue to like, comment, and subscribe. Share the content, man. We're going to keep, coming with banging after banging content. So, got another one here for you, man. We're going to talk about some HBCU prospects, man. There's a lot of HBCU prospects, deserving to get drafted in this year's draft. I know in last year's draft, it was 4 players that was able to get selected. Of course, Joshua Williams out of Fayetteville State, the DB. Of course, Kobe Durant, the cornerback out of South Carolina State. Of course, you had James Houston, the problem. Everybody's understanding who the problem is now out of Jackson State, drafted in the 6th round. And, of course, it was Jatari Carter. Out of Southern, the lineman that went to the Bears. So, you had four, get drafted last year. Hopefully we can get at least 4 or maybe even 4 more and it'd be 8, who knows. But definitely shout out, to the guys that are paving the way for the HBCU athletes, right, for this year's draft to get drafted, man. We're going to go ahead and start at the top, man. We're going to start with Isaiah Land. Of course, we mentioned Isaiah Land in one of our previous videos, but just an absolute machine, man, when it comes to being a pass rusher. Of course, 6'4", 225, the linebacker out of Buffalo, New York, played at FAMU. Of course, he's known for his speed off the edge. He was the National Defensive Player of the Year in 2021, won that Buck Buchanan Award, man. He was consensus first-team All-American across the board. Every list you looked at, Isaiah Land was on it. He led the nation in sacks. He had 19 sacks in 2021. He had 25.5 tackles for loss as well that season, led the country in both those categories, had a phenomenal season in 2021. 2022, didn't play in every game, didn't matter, still was highly productive. First team all SWAC, had 11.5 tackles for loss, 7.5 sacks, a fumble recovery, a forced fumble. Again, he was still first team all SWAC. So, had a really great season, got invited to the Combine. He's invited to the Reese Senior Bowl. So we're expecting a lot of great things out of Isaiah Land. We're going to stay in the SWAC, man. Aubrey Miller, right? Aubrey Miller out of Jackson State, man. 6'2", 225, a linebacker from Memphis, Tennessee. Of course, he was the SWAC Defensive Player of the Year in 2022. Of course, he originally transferred from Missouri to Jackson State. The 2 years he played in the SWAC, he was first team all-conference both seasons. Of course, he finished this season with 117 tackles, led Jackson in tackles this year. He led the SWAC overall in forced fumbles with 5. He had a 3-game stretch this season where he had 19 tackles, 7 tackles, then another 11 tackles in 1 game. So he had games where he was just piling up tackles on top of tackles. He was so disruptive. In that Campbell game, the homecoming game, 13 tackles against Campbell. I mean, he's loud, he's nasty, he's disruptive, everything you want in a linebacker. Aubrey Miller possesses those traits. We're excited to see him in the Senior Bowl as well, and we'll see if he'll be another draft pick, back-to-back years for Jackson State. Of course, like we said, James Houston being drafted last year. Let's see if Aubrey can also get drafted out of Jackson State. We're going to move and switch forward to the CAA, man. We're going to talk about Keyshawn Moore, man. The defensive lineman, 6'3", 240 out of my hometown. He's from Suffolk, Virginia. So definitely high on Keyshawn Moore, man. Started his career off at James Madison University. I've seen it firsthand. Like I said, my little brother played at James Madison. So the very first game that I went to was against North Carolina State. That was Keyshawn's first start against North Carolina State. I think he finished that game with like 8 or 9 tackles, man. That was a redshirt freshman year for him. First game, first time starting against an ACC opponent. He racked up, 8 or 9 tackles. I believe he led the Dukes in tackles that game. So really tremendous defender, man. He was the defensive MVP in the FCS National Bowl. He was all CAA, had 58 tackles, 11 tackles for loss, 5.5 sacks. He had a fumble recovery, a forced fumble. He's just been disruptive all season for that Hampton Pirates defensive line, man. Again, 6'4", 240 pounds, man. Had a tackle for loss in just about every game this season. So, big time production. out of Keyshawn Mooreman, and you know, we're expecting some great things. He signed a NIL deal with WWE, so I mean, he's done some great things already this year. He's been invited to the Tropical Bowl in Orlando, Florida. That's coming up soon. That'll be another great opportunity. I believe like 30 NFL teams have already confirmed that they'll be there. 30 out of the 32 will be there. So you know, we're expecting some great things out of Keyshawn Moore, and we're definitely excited for the future when it comes to that defensive lineman. We want to switch over to Shaq Davis, man. Shaq Davis, of course, if you don't know, man, the big time 6'5", 180-pound receiver, man, out of Summerville, South Carolina. He led the MEAC in 2022 in receiving yards and touchdowns. Of course, he was known for that tremendous performance that he did in the Celebration Bowl in 2021 against Jackson State. He just tore them up, man. 5 catches, 98 yards, 3 touchdowns, man. He was just unstoppable. He's been unstoppable, you know, since he's been there. So another South Carolina State Bulldog that's potentially going to make his transition to the NFL. We know about Darius Leonard, the linebacker with the Colts. We know about Kobe Durant, the defensive back with the Rams. Looks like they have another one coming through that South Carolina State Bulldog factory with Shaq Davis. We're excited to see him and where his production will fall at the NFL level. We're going to stick with the wide receivers here. Jadakiss Bonds, man, another Pirate from Hampton University, 6'4", 200-pound receiver, man, out of Williamston, North Carolina. First team all CAA, I'm sorry. He was number 3 in yards with 855 yards, man. He was number 1 receiver when it comes to touchdowns. He had 10 touchdowns on the season for the Pirates, man. Another big play receiver that we're excited for. Made a lot of plays for that Hampton Pirate offense, man. So that's another good get for someone in the NFL if they're able to give him an opportunity. Again, a big body, 6'4", throw it up kind of guy. Just let him go get it. So we're excited to see Jadakiss as well at the next level. We're going to keep this thing rolling here, man, with another receiver, Xavier Smith. Let me tell you something, man. This kid right here, man, I really, really like this kid, man. I like everything about him, man. I love everything about his game, the way he catches passes, you know, the dog that he has in him, you know, the way he's able to be elusive in open field. I mean, if there is a SWAC wide receiver category, he was number 1 in it. He led the SWAC in wide receiver yards. He led the SWAC in catches with 87. Again, like I said, he led it with yards. He had over 1,000 yards this season. He led it with touchdowns. He had 11 touchdowns. He also led it in yards per game. Like I said, he led pretty much the SWAC in every receiving category, man. He's been a dog since he's been at FAMU, 5'10", 170. Again, a wide receiver out of Haines City, Florida, man. First team all SWAC. Really excited to see, you know, what can happen with Xavier Smith. We're hoping someone gives him a chance. He's a highly productive receiver that definitely deserves an opportunity at the next level, man. So we're excited for that. Lastly, man, we're going to finish it off with offensive lineman, man. Mark Evans, the second out of UAPB, University of Arkansas, Pine Bluff, man. 6'4", 300-pound offensive tackle, 4-time first team all SWAC. I'm going to say it again, 4 times. Ever since he's been there, he's been all conference first team every time. Known for his mobility, his blocking, and his physicality, man. You'll see it on film, man. Just a big, nasty offensive lineman. That's what you want out of Houston, Texas. He's a 2022 FCS All-American, man. Again, first team all SWAC again. East-West Shrine Bowl invite that he accepted. So we're excited for that, man. Mark Evans could be another great, you know, offensive lineman from the SWAC that will get drafted. So he has a really, really good chance. So, you know, there's a lot of good talent in HBCU, man, at the HBCU level. You know, I left off some guys, you know, from this video. I mean, there's a lot of talented guys at the FCS level that's playing, you know, HBCU football, man. It just needs opportunities, right? So we're hoping to see multiple guys get their name called. Like I said, we had 4 last year, hoping to get 4 more, 5 more, 6 more, however more we need, right, to continue to keep this train rolling. So we're definitely excited for all the HBCU guys, man. Like, again, I'm an HBCU graduate. I played baseball. I was at Virginia State University, so I'm all for HBCU, you know, success and for excellence, man. So looking forward to seeing, you know, hearing a few of these guys, if not all, their names called, man. And we're gonna keep, you know, we're just gonna keep track of these guys, man, and you know, see how they do in the bowl games and where their draft stock is and moving forward. And like I said, man, continue to like, comment, and subscribe, man. We're going to continue to bring y'all this banging content. Again, Bird's Eye View. We out.